Does this not work? No, no audio. Okay, whatever. Um, Hi, I'm Valeria Godino. Welcome to the last week of WIR. It was a pleasure doing this semester. Definitely something out of my comfort zone, and having like people come and talk about their life experiences, and people just in general talk about many different types of things that they go through in life and how it has shaped them as an individual and how they choose that moment or whatever they went through, how they let that either dictate their life or how they move on forward and use that as a life lesson. So, if there's one thing I want people to learn about my many of my podcast talk shows or whatever it's called, um, is always maintain with a good heart, no matter what people do to you in this life. Never react with a ill intention. It may seem like, oh, why wouldn't I do the same thing they did to me? But let me tell you something. If you react how they want to react, how they would want you to react, you're giving them the satisfaction of what they want. I can say like my biggest advice is don't let them get that reaction out of you because that's what they want. You just keep playing your cards right and move on with your life. Forget about them and you'll be fine. You know? This is a game of life. So yeah, we'll just stick by it. And yeah. But anyways, I think obviously like I feel like everyone in college should at least take this class like once in their life, at least like in their college life, because it definitely got me out of my comfort zone. I'm more comfortable talking to people. Um, for example, my professor, he made us go outside and like talk to different individuals, ask them questions. You know, it's like especially me that I want to go into the healthcare setting. It's very important for people to know how to communicate with patients and know how to communicate with people overall. That's what makes someone a very intellectual person, knowing how to communicate with people, the fact that you're understanding and you know what to do, you're very time sufficient, you know how to multitask, and you know how to do a bunch of things when it comes to that. So, definitely, like, I would say if you are someone that is going into the medical field, you should definitely, like, invest in yourself. And having this class, people might see, oh, a media class. Like, I don't want to use that. I don't want to do that. But it's actually very important to do that. So make sure that you guys take this class once in your life so you can go out of your comfort zone and stuff like that. But, anyways, another thing I wanted to talk about is the things that are happening in this country, especially. Well, actually, I'm not going to talk about that because, yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about that. That's too political for me to talk, and I'm not going to do that right now. But I can say that I hope we do get snow tomorrow. Maybe they'll cancel school. I don't know. Just a thought. Supposedly it's gonna snow tomorrow, but who knows? Because New York is so bipolar. I swear, one day they'll be like it's gonna rain so hard that it's gonna snow and stuff, and then the next it doesn't even rain at all. It's just like snow. So it's whatever. So, anyways, hopefully, like as time goes by, people are doing what they gotta do and stuff. But either way, like, yes, do a podcast, do what you have to do everything that you need in order for that. Um, but yeah, What's your most unpopular opinion? I am definitely very annoyed about the quarter zip situation. It's um I don't think people need that for real. It's cute, but it's not like a want unless you have a boyfriend and stuff. But yeah. What's a trend you secretly love? Mm, I like the matching sets era. Like even when Juicy Couture was a thing, like matching sets, I'm so glad like that's still like a thing. I don't like people like mix and matching the sets. Just stick to the code and just match all along. I don't like people that mix and match. Just not cute to me. That's probably one of the icks of mine. But yeah. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? So in Mexico, we have this thing called uchepos, which is tamales, but they're made with corn. And I think those are probably one of my favorite foods ever. I could religiously eat those like all the time. So yeah, I just love, 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 love uchepos. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you recently? Nothing, to be honest. I've been all over the world with life. I feel like life takes me so many routes and stuff. So yeah, I am just tired of life. Anyways, let's see. Celebrity, just tell me a vibe you want. Mm, interesting vibes. Interesting vibes. I'm asking questions because I feel like the last couple. What's a belief you have that most people in your life don't agree with? I feel like a lot of people hear about this, but they don't really believe it until it happens to them. But lately, like I've met someone in my life that has changed my perspective a lot, even though he doesn't know this, but he has changed my perspective in the way I see blessings. And God has the right timing for everything. So if you believe that, oh, this happened to me, this is so bad, or let's just say something you and an individual are no longer together and whatever, whatever, or you no longer have a job, or you no longer have this, or you no longer it's because God takes away what you don't need. And that is something I live by. If you don't need it, God is not going to give it to you. And it might seem right in that moment, but remember, God sees what we don't see. He's up there. He doesn't see what we see. So it's important that people know that it's not all the time about what you want or what you need. It's what's going to help you be what you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. If you could watch, no, what's a decision you made that you're glad no one talked you out of? I don't let people dictate my feelings for me regarding them being about someone. Like if I don't like you or if I don't want to be cordial with you anymore, you're not gonna stop me and say, nah, I think you should listen to this person. Nope. It's because based on the amount of information I've gotten and the amount of evidence that I've gathered with my own eyes, like I'm old enough and grown enough to make decisions for myself now. I'm 21. And I always tell my friends, I was like, whatever you got going on, let you could see for yourself. And but don't let me dictate your friendship for that person because nope, that's not the type of person I am. What's the nicest thing someone has ever done for you without expecting anything in return? They took me to the airport. I didn't even ask. I just met this individual this summer, which is so funny, and like we got along so well. And he offered to take me to the airport with nothing in return. Obviously, like I wasn't raised like that, so I bought him like a little coffee or something on the way there as a thank you because he wouldn't take money. And we all know that JFK from our show is kind of a little bit not that far, but it is 30 minutes or so, depending if you get traffic or not. And holiday season is coming right up, and I'm traveling again. And I know how hectic holidays can be. So, who knows? What's a dream or goal you don't tell people because you don't want them to ruin it? My future goal of being who I want to be in life. Um, I I surround myself with people who I know want the same thing as me in some ways because there's many people in this life who are very jealous and envious of the life that you have and will have, and they'll try to pick at your brain and tell you can't do this, you can't do that, and then they'll start talking, you know. So it's very important you surround yourself with people who actually do more for you in ways not talking about money, but do more for you than anyone has ever done. And those are the type of people you need to keep around your life. Because sometimes the people we think that are good for us are actually bad for us. And I'm not talking about the way money comes and goes. I'm talking about how they are in real life. So take that how you please, do with that information as you wish. But yep. What's something you're grateful for now that you used to take for granted? I have a situation right now going in my life that started in October 1st, and this individual has been in the hospital for a very long time now. We are now in December, so he's about to be there for 3 months now. And me and this individual never had a foundation or not even like a relationship regarding like how we stand it in our life. And ever since the situation happened, I've kind of like got what I wanted with that individual, but not really. Like it's different and I don't know, like different realizing and seeing that life has a funny way of reintroducing you to people in under very different circumstances. And you just have to take it one day at a time and realize that if God did that, it's for a reason and for a purpose. And I know that individual now is very grateful for what not the situation that he's in, but he's very grateful for the fact that there's many people around him now. He didn't have that when he was by himself all those years. So it's definitely like taking a toll on us that's been around him for quite a while now, but seeing him and everything has been a great experience, and I really like what I've gotten out of it. And I can't wait to see how long this will come, and I hope it never ends. Like I hope the you ever heard the saying, I hope the light of the match never dies? That's how I'm saying that's my metaphor. What's what's something that you feel like everyone else figured out, but you're still figuring out? Oof, the friends. Growing up, like I was a little girl that never had the I never had so many friends. And people who don't have many friends, you always have to watch out for those. Not because they're mean, but because they don't have friends for a reason. People who have a lot of friends, 9 times out of 10, those people are very fake. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because I'm just gonna speak from experience. I grew up by myself. Like I have two older brothers, but at that age they were already like in high school, going in their college era. You know, didn't go to college, but you know what I'm saying? They were in their like smack in the middle of adult era. So they were busy doing their own things, figuring out their life, figuring out adulthood. I was still growing up. So I basically grew up by myself and I had to figure a lot of things on my own, which I'm very grateful for. And one of them was friendships, especially. Friendships don't last. No matter how many years you and that friend have had, it doesn't last ever. You just have to be careful who you share your personal information with regarding like life or your personal because sooner or later they will use that against you. So, my advice is keep your circle small, don't let anyone belittle you, and don't let anyone throw false information about you out there. Because sometimes that's their way of making themselves feel better knowing that they fucked up. But oh, I cursed. Sorry. I'm just gonna have to mute that out. But I did not mean to say that. I'm so sorry. But anyways, what's a rule you live by that other people should try? Take things one at a time, especially with everything going on in life. I feel like sometimes we're so overwhelmed with everything going around us that we think we can do it all, but we can't. And I've noticed that myself, and it's way better if we just do things on our own and we'll realize like, oh, this is not healthy. It's not healthy to carry all these things. So, you know, what's something mm, 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 what's a wound from your childhood that still shows up in your adult life? Hmm. Um, I would say betrayal. I feel like I've been let down so much in my life, and that doesn't come from relationships. It could be in friendships, relationships, family. Um, there's a saying called just because they're blood doesn't make them blood. You know what I'm saying? People who aren't even your family can be more real than your own family, you know? And I've had to learn that as well. Not everyone wants the best for you just because they put on this facade on their face, however you say it. And they're like, oh, you know, no, that's not how it works. And a lot of people out there are very envious of the people that you could be and are potentially going to be. So they try to put this thing on, but then next thing you know, when you're walking away, they're talking SHIT about you. So we don't want that. So it's good to, like I said, build your own circle, your own thing, vibe on your own, do what you gotta do by yourself, whatever, whatever, whatever. What's a dream you let go of, and do you ever think of picking it back up? Um, well, I still want to be I have this dream of after I become a nurse, God willingly, I want to not open, but I want to invest my money in Airbnb businesses precisely in spots in locations that many people travel to. For example, I went to Cabo one summer and I noticed that a lot of people go there that are retiring and they buy houses or they rent Airbnbs, a lot of like college students for spring break, and people make money off of that. And that's something I would want to invest in, especially in like the vacation tourist areas because I know that's where the money is. And definitely like the biggest thing, I feel like yes, buying buying expensive things is okay, but not all the time. Like invest your money so you can build a future for yourself and your future kids if you want kids. That's the way I'm thinking of it. I've had a great mentor in my life, which was my stepdad, and he's always taught me that it's better to invest your money than buying materialistic things. Yes, it's okay. He always said, yes, it's okay to buy yourself something nice here and there. But all the time, like you're just throwing your money away. Like sooner or later, like you gotta start preparing yourself for your kids and your future family. And that's always stuck with me. And it's like, yeah, you can buy yourself this, but is it gonna really matter in like 10 years when it's out of, fashion and you're gonna sell it again and stuff like that? No, it's not. But in 10 years, that money that you're gonna be making is gonna keep coming in. and you're going to keep on investing and investing in properties that you want, and you're setting yourself up for a better life and for your kids. You're setting them up for success. And that's what you want to do ideally, coming from someone who comes from a very low income family in New York. Parents were immigrants who came here for nothing, and now I'm grateful that I'm able to pursue a higher education and be first gen is amazing to me. And it's actually like such an eye opener that this May I'm about to graduate and I'm about to be first gen. And yeah, like not a lot of people in their life have a mentor that constantly talks to them about life. And I feel like that's where a lot of us get messed up in life. Not having that one specific person that's like gonna tell us do this, do that, do that. And I'm so thankful that I have one because having those types of person in your life helps you navigate the way you want to make your life. And because that individual has already gone through life, has already did mistakes, knows what's right from wrong. You understand? So it's like, yes, you need to do better because I've been through it and I don't want you to go through the same. So you always gotta think more. You gotta give yourself and set for yourself high expectations, and you gotta meet those high expectations. You wanna know why? Because that individual wants better for you and is expecting you to do better. And the thought of like disappointing them is so sad. So yeah, I've always said strive for greatness. Never let anyone belittle you in life because at the end of the day, we're all humans and we both have the power to do the same things. Some people aren't fortunate enough to be where others are can be regarding their economic status, etc. But those who do have all the willpower to be where they want to be in life. It just takes time, dedication, and hard work. And if you're willing to do that, you will go far in life. You just have to believe in yourself and have the right people around you in your corner supporting you and cheering you on and just, one day at a time. And that's literally my motto for my life. One day at a time, because if you stress about things too much, it's not going to go well. And you're going to be drained and you're just going to be too like chaotic with your life. And that's not what you want to do. So, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Take your time. Do what you got to do. What's something you're afraid to admit out loud? Something I'm afraid to admit out loud is that I don't let others like show me affection because I don't like it. But it's because I grew up in a very tough exterior household where very male dominated household where there wasn't a lot of that shown to me. So when people show it to me, I'm like, ew, like get away from me. I don't want that. And I don't like and it's funny because I have my moments of like affection and I like want to give it to people, especially like my dog. Like she's just so cute and adorable, fluffy. She's like a little lion. But yeah, those are the types of that's something I won't ever admit out loud and like especially if like my brother gives me a hug, I'm like, all right, are you done now? Because I just don't like it. And a lot of people have noticed that, especially in my friend group. They're like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that to you because you seem to not like it. If you could ask your future self one question, what would it be? I would say to her, did everything turn out exactly how I wanted it to? And then that would be my question to her. That would be my only question to her. And God willing, like everything that I have set for myself is falls into my hands and I can just take it because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It's just as long as you do it. I'm not even gonna say that. I was like, did we do what we wanted to do? That's my question for her. My future self, did we do what we wanted to do this whole time? And that is something that I want everyone to just, like I said, doesn't matter how long it takes, just know that you just do it. No matter what it takes, how long it takes, just keep going for it. And sooner or later, you'll be where you want to be in life. and you'll be have that person, you'll have that car, you'll have that house, you'll have that dream vacation, you'll have that dream wedding, you'll have that dream whatever it is. It just takes time and dedication, and everything you want in life is potentially yours. Like this, I don't know if you guys ever heard Scarface or whatever, that movie, The World Is Yours, because it literally is. And no one can stop you from achieving that. It's just about you and the type of person you are and the demeanor you have. So it's important that we believe in ourselves, especially us, nobody else. We have to be our number one um, motivation. So, with that being said, I will. It was a pleasure to be on this podcast. I learned a lot for myself and definitely helped me with going out of my comfort zone. And it definitely did help with my communication skills. So, with that being said, thank you for having me this semester. And I wish you guys the best. I'm Valeria Gazzino from WIR. Have a great holiday season. And I wish you guys the best. Bye.